Let's break down what happened with Rolly Romero and his win over Ryan Garcia. This fight really had shades of Haney versus Garcia. What do I mean by that? Think about it. Early on, a left hook set the stage for the whole rest of the fight. Like when Garcia caught Haney with a left hook, that probably changed a lot of the dynamic that Haney experienced throughout probably most of that fight. Same thing I think happened to Garcia this time around. It's almost like he lived by the sword, died by the sword, right, with Garcia. He lives by the left hook, he dies by the left hook. So that him feeling that power getting dropped, it then I think changed the course for how he thought and how he fought and made him not take chances as that fight went on, at least from my analysis. Now, let's jump into the details that made this fight go the way it did, what Romero did, what Garcia maybe didn't do, and what he could have done to maybe get the victory, or what he can do next time if the rematch happens. It wasn't a spectacular fight, but it was good. Had that little bit of excitement in the second round, so that was great. All right, so first thing is let's talk about what Rolly did right. Rolly's not known to be a strategical, tactical boxer, and man, he showed something today. So that was very, very nice to see. What are the things that he did, besides, of course, catching Ryan with that left hook in the second round, that led him to nullifying Ryan and leading him to victory? Obviously, Ryan tasting power and getting concerned about getting dropped, that has a big psychological effect on most anybody. It's only a few select people that are truly that high-level, elite, all-time great type fighter that or real warrior that they don't get fazed by that power, especially the power at the high level. To be clear, I'm not talking about power of some guy in your gym. I'm talking about that high power, and Rolly Romero has that freaking type of crazy power. Now, what did Rolly do? The first thing is he kept his right hand on the side of his face. All right. And when you're going against a guy that you know his left hook is the main thing you got to worry about, this is like what I talked about when Haney fought Garcia, keeping that right hand on the side of the face. You will eat jabs sometimes, and you let the jab get through sometimes because you're more worried about the hook, because you know that left hook is the one thing that can change the whole dynamic of the fight, like we saw it actually happen. So Rolly, the whole entire fight, had that right hand on the side of his face. He caught some jabs here and there, but he also kind of pulled out sometimes as he caught to try to get out of range of the hook. Now, of course, this could lead you to getting caught by a stepping left hook, but he did his best to minimize it. Really didn't get caught by almost any. Maybe he got caught by one or two, but definitely not very cleanly to the point where it changed the whole course of the fight and put him down obviously like he did to Garcia. So that's important to remember. If you have a punch that you're watching out for from somebody, you sometimes need to ignore the other punches, particularly if they're like Ryan and a little bit of a one-handed fighter. I know he has two hands, and I know he's powerful in both hands, but that real game changer power is in that left hook. So if that's the case, we're going to take the gamble to eat some jabs. We're going to take the gamble to even get hit by a right hand, which is actually what he did the gamble for, almost to get that left hook knockdown. But let's worry about that one punch that we got to worry about, because you know his style. You know who he is, how he is. You've sparred him before. So you know what you got to do. Now, the next thing is that after Rolly would shoot the right hands, he would roll under the hook. He'd be ready to weave under that counter left hook that Garcia would throw half the time. And that's another just simple basic thing. You know someone's gunning for that left hook counter like Garcia does. You know you just got to weave under to protect against it if it's a headshot. And then the last thing, this is the thing that actually took away Ryan's jab and took away Ryan's left hook, right? And it made it happen less than what it would have happened otherwise. What is this one thing? It's this one thing that I actually tell a lot of my guys not to do, because if you do it all the time against certain people, it's going to be a big problem. But all these tactics and strategies, they have counter moves for them, and they have situations where they can work. So what was Rolly doing that took away the jab and the left hook? Comment below before I say it to see if you knew. He was jabbing Ryan's left arm. If you watch throughout that entire fight, 12 rounds, that guy was jabbing Ryan's left arm. Sometimes jabbing in the face, sometimes eating Ryan's jab, sometimes slipping and jabbing to the body, doing some great things with that. But so many of his jabs were poking and sometimes literally jabbing Ryan's left arm. What did that do? Did a couple things. One is it makes the guy feel like there's interference now and there's not a pathway to jab. A couple times when Ryan would try to jab, Rolly would stick out his left arm to interfere with it. So now it's almost like you're fighting an opposite stance fighter. It's like a southpaw, like Ryan fighting a southpaw. So now you have to try to go under and over and around, and it changes the element and it can take it away. A lot of times Ryan was just catching that jab, Rolly's jab on his left hand, which therefore means he's not using it to left hook or to jab, which is what he needed to do. So it keeps it occupied, keeps it busy, makes it feel like it doesn't have a pathway for the jab and even for the left hook. And that little nuance, Ryan didn't catch on, didn't change, and didn't utilize to make something happen. So that was one of the strategical things. And then also off of that controlling of the left arm, it does set up your own right hands, which Rolly did a couple right hands to the body, which were good throughout the fight. But that wasn't really the game changer. Really, it was that jab going across and keeping that right hand on the side of the face, being ready for that left hook to come around on his right side. Now, what could have Ryan done better, in my opinion, or what could he have done to secure victory? Well, so the first thing is you got to decide if you're going to last the fight or if you're going to try to win the fight. Those are two different mindsets. I worked with this one pro journeyman who his decision 80% of the time was that he was going to last. So therefore, when he was properly prepared for a fight, he would go up against world-class competition and he would last. He would hang in there. It would sometimes be almost punch for punch, but he wouldn't do enough and take enough risks to win. That's how Ryan fought today. And of course, that left hook probably set the stage for that type of pathway, him getting caught with that and made him fight more like that. It looked like he was just fighting to last the fight, to say I got the 12 rounds and you didn't stop me, versus taking those risks that you have to do if you want to win the fight. This applies to anyone, whether you're a beginner boxer, beginner pro, intermediate pro, or at this elite level. You got to decide, which one am I going to do? And am I going to survive or am I going to thrive? Or attempt to thrive. And of course, in that chance, when you leap, the net might not catch you and you might get knocked out. It might happen, but you got to do that, particularly in the last round. In the last round, there was no desperation. You got to know. I'm pretty sure Ryan's coach knew that he was behind. You got to know you're behind. Don't do stupid things, but you got to put some punches together. Now, what does he need to do, or what did he need to do in order to put stuff together, right? Because, like I said, Rolly was doing things to nullify the jab and the left hook. First thing is then he got treated like an orthodox and southpaw, like I mentioned earlier. So therefore, he has to be jabbing before. So establishing a jab before Rolly's extending his left arm out, which he definitely could have done. And he here and there, he would catch Rolly with a nice jab. So it was definitely there to do. Then after Rolly jabs, after Rolly taps that arm, then coming back with a jab again, or paring it down, coming over, things of that nature. And then here's the big thing. Here's the thing. And you put in just more jabs in general, right? He was not active. He was active catching and blocking with that lead hand because Rolly was shooting for that lead hand. And Ryan was just now holding mitts for Rolly a lot of that fight. The biggest thing I saw, of course, the jab is your number one, but the biggest thing in addition to all that is that if you got, and this is why I tell my guys not to habitually always jab across like that, like a cross jab to, like that across the body, is when you do that, and if you're not far enough out or ready for what can come from that, you're going to be in a world of trouble. In my opinion, Ryan should have let that jab hit that left arm, let it come over on that side, because now that arm is across his body, slightly just inch in a little bit so that Rolly's jab is now not so long and it's a little bit shorter. And now that you're a little bit shorter, you know what can come over cleanly over that jab? You guessed it. A beautiful right hand and a lot of right hands. And if you would have set it up with some jabs before, afterwards, got him thinking about busy, jabbing before and afterwards, under and over with that jab like he's fighting a southpaw, then as Rolly's going across to touch that left hand, he inches in just a few inches. Boxing's a game of inches, just a few inches. Hard right hand, does it over and over again. I don't know if Rolly has the answer and the adjustment for it. So that's my thoughts, guys. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of the fight and your thoughts on my strategical takes. Would love to hear what yours might be. And make sure you watch out for the next video. Also, if you want to work with me, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I have partnered with True Coach. It's an app where I'll give you custom workouts and we can work together to help you get to any level you want to get to. All right, guys. See you there.